This is Low Moon Origins, and the story continues.
Did we wake him up?
No.
I thought you see. I'm sorry. I thought when
There's one in and out of consciousness.
That's the one that has the mark, but I haven't fully woken him up yet because, one, I want to make sure that he's tied really stinking tight because he's a monk, and two, I was waiting for you to finish your conversation before.
Yeah, we should probably ask him if either one of those two things is true.
Which two things? That the fortress, the stronghold, has that purpose? I mean, we could ask. I mean, he's been beaten fairly. We didn't shoot him or sword him while he was fighting Ren, so at least Ren, and probably by extension me, I think he would be willing to talk freely as long as there's something he's not like sworn to secrecy or something like that.
I mean, if we have one question, I can make him tell the truth for one of those questions.
Ask him if he'll tell us the truth.
Yeah.
If he says yes, then we can trust everything else he says. If he says no, we at least know we can't trust anything else he says.
Can we just make sure his bonds are secure before I wake him up fully?
Sorry. Seem pretty strong.
Okay. He seems to be fairly well tied.
Your logic is...
Anything or conversing with Tideborn or the shortness of it going to impact what's going on right now? We need that real quick.
No. And really what he's doing is coaching him on Dorkin's approach to combat.
Oh, okay.
So he's walking him through the combat that just occurred and what his thought process was going in and coming out of it.
Okay.
So you're doing your job as a trainer.
Yeah,
and you will, so he will soak it up like a sponge, basically. Whether or not he'll be able to apply it remains to be seen, but he'll soak it up. And he will tell you that he values the input greatly because in the first moments of combat, when everything was just starting to happen, he was like, in his mind, he was rifling through all the possibilities of things that he could potentially do to help. And there were so many, and he felt almost like paralyzed to make any decision. And he also felt like a lot of what he could do was just unnecessary because he felt like everybody else was going to handle it anyway. But he's like, I mean, it's really easy for me to bring up a fog or to throw that burning brine acid in people's faces or things like that. And so it feels almost effortless. So I got a gout of steam if anybody gets close enough to me, and that one person was. And I can armor myself, and I can do a lighter fog that's obscuring but doesn't really adversely affect my friends. I can throw water on people pretty much at will.
Sploosh. We don't know if we have to shower.
Is word of advice in so many...
Lots of people can do that, and I look up.
Somewhere in another plane.
You are truly blessed.
So his words of advice, in so many words, is that essentially in the early stages of combat, as it begins to develop, your job is to transfer the combat from one stage to the next. And basically there are three. There's developing, there's royal, and there's cleanup. And his job is from developing, you make it as easy as humanly possible for your allies to get to cleanup. So for Dorkian, that might be, there's a mass force in the middle that's going to be really chunky to get through. So he puts a force ball there and clears it out, and then we take out the outside, or something like that. And then once you get to cleanup, you go to asset collection. So you figure out what it is that you can actually gain from the combat, whether it's trying to preserve some magic item that you've noticed an opponent using, or, for example, casting a charmed person on the last guy alive to try to gather information or something like that. And so when you're filtering through the, in either of their cases, I'm sure, dozens of spells that you have access to at any given moment, your number one priority should be finding a spell that helps your allies move into the next phase rather than, dealing the most possible damage, or even, and this is, he would say, even preserving life. Like getting to the next stage of combat is more important than keeping one person in tip-top shape. But you obviously don't want to let your allies die, because that's not, doesn't get you to the next stage of combat. In fact, it puts you backwards. So that's his mentality.
Okay. Yeah, he seems to be assessing it.
Decision-making framework.
He's like,
Present himself as
so
maybe he doesn't make efforts to do it.
a lot of my abilities, my spell abilities, I don't think normally are going to be real useful in rapidly progressing. Like I could just make minor contributions, especially if people get close to me then. Like probably my most potent offensive spell, what you would think of as a spell anyway, that is kind of like affect a bigger group, is probably hold person. Which my whole person is, I'm told, is pretty dangerous, pretty devastating, more so than what a normal person's is. But I have some things to protect myself. I have a magic missile, but
Is this because the boy is lacking in spells, or because you are hesitant to use your more powerful offensive capabilities? Are there certain offensive spells that you lack? Just that you do not have access to?
I mean, probably, yes. I think there are certain offensive spells that I lack, but I also have. So I have to limit myself in certain ways, or I feel like I do, because if I throw things too far out of balance, then I become cantankerous. My mood is somewhat at stake.
Well,
Water basically does what I ask, and that is of no great cost to me or fatiguing. Fire listens, but doesn't necessarily agree. So I can do a lot of things with water and fire that, I don't know, I mean, they're not really even spells per se. They're just things I can do, like abilities. But my spell book is not hugely diverse. I only have 6 spells, for example, of the 3rd rank. And I have 8 of the 2nd rank.
are you limited in your diversity by, how'd you say, lack of intelligence?
No. I'm able to know or understand any quantity of spells. But I have had limited time. I am 10.
In time, we will tackle this issue.
That was my plan as well.
You should not be turning
This
into a murder machine.
will be suggested. The Wind Mage.
Also, I find prolonged periods of study tedious, at least, if not unnecessary, because it is my belief that controlling the elements, becoming friend to fire and perhaps air, will allow so much ability that I shouldn't need to cast spells in most cases. And the spells that I do cast will be quick and simple, like for example, shaping water, creating water, making fog clouds, armor, ventriloquism, walls of fog, arrows of brine, burning hands, and fogs of obscurement, all of which are but the flick of a wrist and require little to no skill.
This will be suggested. The Wind Mage knows much of the elements and their stubbornness. You say, fire listens but does not always obey. The wind hardly hears. It's too busy often roaring on its own.
Hmm.
You will find that in order to master, to speak commands and have them be heard, more potent commands, say, than raising a fog or pushing a wave. Perhaps for me, something like bringing down the sky or sucking the wind out of a man's lungs. These things require conditioning. These words and the motions that the Wind Mage does are more than a request of the elements. They're a command, and it is followed, and mostly amiably, for we have a common cause. I can see in you that you are not a common cause, and so perhaps at times you will need to make commands. This you will learn to do. What you do, these natural abilities, is potent, and should you maintain good relationships with your elements and find common cause in your goals and aims, I imagine will grow substantially. But at all times you will be limited by the fickle nature of the elements with which you grapple.
Yes.
And so this one will teach you the words, the phrases, the magical pulses that you will release to command. And it is imagined that in this seeking of this knowledge, this one will learn much as well. For these abilities are beyond me. The wind is my master until I command it. The fire and the water are in some ways your servant at will. This is foreign. I am most interested to know and to learn why the elements are not friendly, nor are they sentient in such a natural way. I think that through commanding you will learn in some ways that you have never yet experienced the full extent of your relationship with the elements that create you.
I think this is what Lord Zal thought also, and that he had taught me what he could, and why he wanted me with an elemental mage who has the experience that you are speaking of.
Agreed.
Suffice it to say, I have my theories, they're probably half-baked, about why your power, your control is the way it is, especially coming from the elemental plane of air. For the air is not friends with itself, being always at odds and friction and swirling upon itself. In fact, having probably its greatest effects at such times. And being an elemental mage of the air, with my limited understanding, that would put you essentially at odds with that very same thing which you are. I am not that, nor am I, in truth, an elemental mage, but a mage of convergence. I was neither born on the elemental plane of water nor the elemental plane of fire, but I had a particular instance in which both elements came to my aid, and not that long ago, at which point in time I survived and then was rescued by Lord Zal and became his mentor, and have been for the better part of 4 years. He became my mentor, which he has been for the better part of 4 years. And it was in his mentoring me that I became his ward. And in that relationship that we discovered that I am the product of that convergence.
We will learn much of this.
So I am neither fire nor water, and when I die, likely I will become dust like every other person. But for the meantime, I am the product of the convergence, an ally to both, and a kindred to water for sure. Perhaps because my body is made up of a lot of water, I don't know.
You are unlike I or Zol.
Yes.
Because Zol is water and I am wind. And so there will be much of these things that you will need to learn yourself. And going forward, I will be expecting of you that you will be doing these explorations independently alongside my teaching. That being said, I am more like you than Zol, because Zol is water, and I am wind, and also friend and enemy of wind, and so I command it, where Zol does not command water. Though his title is Lord, the water listens to his suggestions. And so he knows not of the internal struggle that
I will say that inside his realm, he commands water, even more so than I. In fact, a lot of the tricks, if you will, that I have learned, I learned from him. But I can do anywhere there is water what he can do at home. May I demonstrate?
Surely.
I must borrow the ranger. Excuse me?
Probably getting my horse ready or something.
Yeah, actually, I think the party was going to interrogate the sleeping guy, but
I healed him for 16.
Yeah, so he will be conscious, and then since Leon is the best intimidator, I imagine that's what you'll be doing. At least supporting the conversation anyway. But anyway, he says, if I promise you you won't get wet, will you look up again?
Sure.
And he puts his hand up toward your head. Mind you, he's a lot shorter than you are. I forget how tall he is. He's like 4'6" or something.
600 pounds. He's kind of stocky.
I forgot how tall he is. But anyway, he's short. He's
Everybody's 100 pounds.
no, he's actually slender, so he's not stocky. I'll find his height weight in a minute. But anyway, he holds his hand up toward you, and you look up, and the water starts to fall. And instead of falling, and you're still looking up, so you look down and look up again, and both times it doesn't land on your face. Instead, the water goes along the side of your head, along your shoulder, and then down toward the ground. But when it gets to be about 4 feet off the ground, it forms like a right angle. So it's parallel to the ground, and then a right angle, so it's toward the ground, and then a right angle. And he says, look up again. And the water continues to fill it, and it goes to where it basically makes like a staircase that would lead to 4 feet up. And then he snaps his fingers, and it freezes to ice. And then he walks up the steps, and he's standing on the ice of the stairs.
Interested in giving financially to Low Moon and support the campaign? Text LMGIVE, that's LM Give, to 419-419-0095.
And then
I look up again.
okay. Oh, that's good, because then he doesn't have to use his cantrip. All right, so you look up again, more water comes out, and then he motions so that the water doesn't, real quick, just a few specks fall on your face before he catches it, and then it whooshes down in front of him, and it becomes like discs of ice that he can walk on until he's back down on the ground. And then he waves his hand, and all of it just falls on the ground as water, and it begins to soak into the. He says, "This is no spell, no magic, just allegiance."
It looks like magic.
That's what's all said, because I can do it anywhere. But he can do all of this, and tsunami waves, the size of a tsunami, and summon full elementals. And he says, and he motions to the ground, and you see a wisp of water come up that looks like a snake, and then it takes on, it looks like it has one arm and one hand, but it's the middle of it is just a kind of a wisp of water. And he says, this is the best I can do. And the water turns toward him, and it kind of makes a salute, but it doesn't have a head. It goes like that for a second, and then it disappears. So, not very useful, but sometimes holds a door.
What does a tsunami salute?
Oh, much more.
Oh, wow.
It'll do everything.
Well, then you need practice.
And so you say,
Yes.
this is allegiance.
That's good.
Yes. The water does this because I will it. And as fast as I can think it, it obeys. It is a friend.
And this
Fire, I can remove the flame and leave the heat, or remove the heat and leave the flame. It will do that when I ask, but I can't stand on it or direct it or cause it not to burn.
I envy this.
It is nothing compared to the things that you can do in your mastery.
Commands.
It's useful to get around, useful to water plants, wash equipment, reach something on a high shelf.
It is free.
No, not truly. I tire over time, more rapidly than if I were just going about my normal business.
While he's talking, I look up again, see if the water's going to come back.
Okay, let's see if he notices it fast enough to do something about it. Yeah. So some of it starts falling on your face, and he goes, whoop! And he catches it, and it flows down. You didn't need that, did you?
No, I just see if it's still there.
It's I don't know why, but I could ask. When did it start?
After we were on like a pocket plane thing.
You must have crossed near to the barrier and made an enmity of some water lord who is picking on you or something. Given the time, I can surely negotiate on your behalf, and we may have to bribe it away or whatever. Although I will tell you that as long as I'm traveling with you, it's quite useful to me.
Out of character, did we know it had something to do with Loki? Or did we hear that? Or somebody
No,
said-
I don't think so.
Not in character.
Did it
Yeah.
have something to do with that? Like one of your wishes? That was one of the wishes?
I went through like a stone archway kind of thing, and then I was on like a balcony, and I said, "That's refreshing," and then I was. That was like a command. Whoa! That's refreshing!
Oh,
You looked
the lead
up.
cord belt. Wow, that was weird. Okay. The lead cord slipped off the table. What happened? Took a whole bunch of stuff with it.
Ever since then, whenever I look up, it splooshes me apart.
So it's like a gifted ability of a sort. I suppose
Yes.
it could cause you some consternation, especially if you have to
Annoying
shoot your
ability.
bow up into the air or whatever. But other than that,
Makes it kind of hard to check the time of day.
I can create water just about as much as that, but it doesn't seem to tire you at all. I can control where the water is, and you can't. It's a fair ability.
This one has experienced a similar hardship.
You could make a mint escorting caravans.
Not
to deserts.
similar, but I did pass under a stone arch, and now sometimes my first and fourth rank spells become healing spells.
Well, that's awesome.
Brings some consternation. The Wind Mage does not want healing spells. He wants magic missiles, or...
The wind mage? Why are you talking in third person?
He's been doing that for a while.
It's one of the side effects of drinking the potion to make the dump go away.
perhaps even Dimension Door or Airskin, and instead he is sidled with this oddity. It's like... It feels like I have a memory that is not mine.
I
No, I don't want anything.
I have great pity for you, but it's nothing I can do anything about.
No.
It's a curse. If I were going to be stuck with one, then I wouldn't mind.
It's still no thank you.
I am, as you see, frail, and I see you are frail, like me, but more developed. So I think that healing is useful. Both of these things seem to be almost like blessings, though you see them as curses.
No, I mean, on a hot day, it's a blessing, for sure.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
thirsty.
Yes.
Any other time, not really.
If anybody else is thirsty, or
You could get a specially formed bowl or hat that you could put on your head and look up and catch it and just keep replacing it every time it gets full. Or you could run a tube to a backpack, like a sealskin backpack, and catch it and fill the backpack
Like a sombrero.
So are we gonna interrogate the monk anytime today, or are we just gonna?
Yeah, it's beginning to strike you that Typhor doesn't seem to be terribly focused.
I thought they'd be back by now. For me to say.
I think you and I need to work on our combat tactics and start utilizing it a little bit.
I agree. I love it. And I will not get as tired with having to create my own water all the time. So I'm for it.
You're in the middle of shooting a bow, and he says, "Look up."
Oh wait, we should get you a hat that's like a bowl.
I look down at the book and I'm like, I'm sorry, I woke you up.
Okay.
It's okay, man.
It's a great idea, Rita. Great idea.
You're special.
He says, so why did you wake me up? I mean, other than to be a kind and generous captor.
Oh, we have questions.
He looks around. Do you think maybe looking for Ren? Millie says, I am Millie. Do you know me? And she steps forward in the middle of his view and he says, yes, I do. And she says, then you know that I am Master Ren's pupil and that I speak for him in this moment. And we want to know more about the stronghold, the oracle, the painted man on your collarbone. Whatever you can tell us. Will you cooperate? He says, I am in little position to deny your requests. Not because I fear for my life, but because the flame requires me. She says, that is so. The flame requires. Please ask the questions one at a time, and I will give you what answers I am permitted without breaking my oaths and fealty to my master. Okay. Why are the monks building a stronghold near the oracle? Events have transpired at the oracle, which makes being near the oracle, near the colonnade in particular, very fruitful. And our order recognizes that value, and so we were spending a lot of time there. But the mountains are outside the patrolled lands of the Sun Palace, and the dragon population has grown substantially. So while encamped, we were exposed. The stronghold is primarily for the purpose of self-defense. So it is the desire of this monkly order, which you are saying is not the Sun Palace, to restrict access to the oracle? I suppose it is, yes. Why? The oracle has the prophecy about the shards in a fairly original form. Many of the monks in our order have been unable to access the oracle, and we have standing orders to dissuade anyone from visiting the oracle. To the point of attacking people and killing people on the road? The orders definitely include such activities as necessary, yes. And I am a warrior monk, so negotiation, healing, bribing, all of these things are outside my normal operating skills. When I disagree with someone, I beat them down, and when they wake up, I explain my position. That's what I do. And he says, well, not today. No, chuckles, not today.
Very uncomplicated life.
It is the order of the flame. All people who have not spent sufficient time contemplating the flame understanding the nature of the flame and withdrawing from the chaos that is normal society are squandering all accessible resources in pursuits that are not beneficial for mankind. Including most of you, I'm sorry to say. I have lived a full life, and I guess if you wanted me dead, you would have already killed me, so...
How old does he look?
Late 20s.
To be honest with you, I really don't see much different between you and me. You have a set of rules you follow, I have a set of rules I follow. You serve under somebody, I serve under somebody. Except for I get to walk around and do what I want.
Yes,
You get to wear pajamas.
my rules were written over 1,000 years ago. And it's not been just the rules of my life, but the rules of all of those of followers, those who have the knowledge of the flame since ages gone by. You learned your rules from your parents, as I did before I became a monk. The rules and laws of a given town change when somebody new moves in, or when something has been deemed no longer beneficial to the society. Rules on how many kids you might be allowed to have, or how much money you can charge for an exchange rate, because trade has changed, because disease has set in, etc., etc., etc. The rules of the flame transcend all such alterations. That's the only real difference. In following the flame, I have had to give up many of the presuppositions that I had. I think actually before I became a monk, we would likely have had very similar presuppositions. I think you seem like a good person. I see myself as a good person. You seem loyal to tasks, what justice, such as you see it, right, correctness. I see myself that way. I think we could be very much the same, but I have let go many of the presuppositions that I had to join the monastery, and I have progressed some distance in knowing better the flame and its teachings. Millie says, you have absorbed the teachings of Zoerin, and his teachings are basically a twisted version of what the flame teaches, a heresy. That law you say that you are following that's over 1,000 years old, 1,000 years ago, Zoerin's teachings were not the teachings of the flame. They may not be limited to his lifetime, but they are a far newer diversion from the mainstream teaching. This you know, because the prophecy of the shards is printed in its original form, the walls of the oracle, correct? And he says, yes, you mean that the prophecy as it is currently interpreted by the Sun Palace monks is different from the one that is printed on the wall of the oracle's colonnade. And she says, yes, that's what I mean. And he says, but Zoerin's anyway, teachings are more directly related to the prophecy that is therein recorded than they are to the monk's prophecy as they relate it today. Millie says, that's where we differ. I'm not sure that's true. Have you seen the prophecy as recorded in the oracle's chamber? He says, I have not. I was one of those who were not able to access the colonnade of the oracle. She says, well, Ren has seen them. And Ren says that Solerin's teachings are closer to the prophecy that is therein contained. And he says, and Zoerin has seen them as well. And he says that the prophecy therein contained speaks exactly what he says.
So robust a set of rules that two masters would read the same presupposed texts and come away with a different one.
Millie says, I don't think so. I think Zoerin is lying. I think he's And you see the man looks a little angered by that. And she says, I think he's seen the prophecy in the oracle colonnade, and he knows that it stands in contrast to his current teaching. And he is ensuring that no one else can go there for, at least in part, that purpose, to make sure that the monks do not side with Solaren, at least those who are powerful enough to have access to the prophecy. Remember that you have to be of the 12th rank, she gives the title, whatever it is, in order to be able to access the prophecy at all. So only the masters have it.
So we have the prophecy from Sarah.
Yes.
Is that the same prophecy?
It's about the shard, but it's not the same. And in particular, the one that Solaren quoted to Ren has built into it some kind of like interpreting statements. And the one that Sarah quoted was more cold and practical.
Okay, so Dorgan will turn to the monk and he'll say, so this one thinks you are deceived.
Yes.
On the contrary, I know you are deceived because I know what that is. He'll point to the creature paint on his neck. Is it that you know what that is?
Not for sure, no. I know that being near the Watcher assists me in multiple levels with my disciplines. And so we are loyal in that way because we have experienced firsthand the benefits of the Watcher.
I tell you how many times I've seen people bend and twist something good and use it to for their own devices.
The Watcher.
It's a common theme played out across the multiverse.
The Watcher is a forward scout sent by an interplanetary tyrant bent on bending and eventually subjugating, destroying, reaping the value of worlds, which he has done to many and will continue to do so unless he is stopped. What he is, few know. What value lies in the Watchers, there is none. You worship your coming doom. Though I will not pretend that my knowledge of what I know to be true will sway you. You seem a stalwart man. But now you know, and there is value in that.
If what you say proves to be true with regards to this higher power, and he is using the Watcher, and the benefits that we are getting somehow play into his hands, then I see the merit of resistance. But I should need to know these facts by some means other than testimony. I don't know this being you speak of that sends the Watcher, or do I know that he even exists? For all I know, the Watcher has been in the temple for hundreds of years.
Do you know the name Imperion?
It's in the prophecy. I don't know it personally. I don't know the full length of prophecy personally, as I am not of rank to know it. But Zoarin does. Okay, so what we're going to do at this point in time, because we're running late on the hour, is you'll be able to pick up, so you have time to think about between now and next session if there's any additional questions or anything you want to explore with them.
Check out Things Were Different Back Then, the origin story of Lord Victor told from a certain point of view.
Suffice it to say, I'll put this kind of a cap on it to be aware, and that is that he is coming across as somebody who is like in his right mind, does not appear, he's not magically affected like that. So it does seem to be somebody that at least gives credence to what you're saying and could be swayed. Okay? Which you might begin to think that would be true possibly of a lot of the monks. That for whatever reason, Solarian has not moved to stamp out this heresy. Okay? So you can address that however you want before next time. I am going to take 10 minutes and see if I can get Ren and Ryan to either success or unconsciousness. So.
Was I getting any progress towards while we were riding? Feeling like I was getting anywhere?
Not really. I mean, not sure that there is something to be like either broken into or cajoled forth. You died. You came back to life. And then somewhere in that process, you've lost that part of you that you never wanted, basically, prior to dying, prior to becoming evil, and afterwards, so you never wanted. It's almost you think like if there is something in your subconscious that you could break out, you're gonna need a tool to do it. You're gonna need something like what really got you started thinking along the lines was seeing the vision, like seeing yourself. So you think if you had more like that, so probably actually if you're going to be successful from where you are right now without anything added, you'd really have to focus on the vision, what you were experiencing in the vision, try to connect yourself with the person that you saw and maybe come to a belief that that person is you, kind of thing, because even every time you think about it right now, you're sort of like wrestling with reality as to whether
one of the things that she was going to
probably
say
once having a clone probably didn't help you at all either. So you're kind of like, well, that could have just been a clone. Maybe I'm figuring out a clone me. So you have every reason to think it wasn't you.
If you want someone to poke around in there, I can do that for you.
No.
I can tell you things.
I can help him.
She was actually going to apologize for trying to disassociate herself from, like, she knows that she did it, but she can see herself doing it.
Yeah.
And the memory she had, she was doing it, so there's, like, with the ghost, she could say, that wasn't me.
Right.
That I did not do that.
I was possessed.
Right? I was possessed.
Yeah.
This, I can't say that.
Right.
So I can't be like,
yeah, so your strength
this
of
wasn't
will,
me, it was me.
right now your strength of will is in recognizing that, and if you can get to the point of saying, okay, there's got to be a lot more there, then you might be able to unpack.
That's why she was trying to set the time apart to get like in like a prayer state or that sort of mindset to start range. That was kind of what she was wanting to do instead of being at the door of the market shop.
Yeah. Yep. And I kind of played it as that's pretty much what you spent last session doing. I didn't realize that what you just shared with me. I didn't have that piece at that time. I see it now. But I would just say like either by probing by additional, looking for additional details. Like you say, well, why was my hair a different color then? Mm-hmm. Or why was I dressed like that? Or if you can figure out a way to connect your current self with what you were doing, then that's probably your best chance. Or if you could get more, even though you said you don't want to access the Oracle might be able to give you more. You need something. So either if you get somebody that could look back in time to give you more. So you need something to get a little bit more of who you were and why you were doing what you were doing. Because even in that, there was a hint in the seer's vision that she wasn't really, even though she was the mistress of death and she was working his will or whatever, but that she wasn't really on board with destroying that planet. So, to say, well, it's easy to say, well, we're super evil. We have this really powerful weapon. We can do this. And just do it. I mean, if you're evil, it's fine, right? You're just working inside the program. It's no big deal. But there was a clear something in her face. So was there still a good part of her, or was there still a conflict of some kind, or So if you could make touch with the part of you that was still good while you were evil, that's a direct line to what you need. Because that part would still have access to all the information that you need. Something like that. So it's going to be an interesting journey.
If you let Dorothy magic jar you, he can access your memory.
You are not touching.
Just saying.
Yeah, but I can set my guy.
We could. I said Robin the cat.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
That's true. You could have somebody switch bodies with you.
Basically,
We've been doing some pretty weird magic lately.
I understand, but yeah,
I was reading the description of Magic Jar, and I was thinking about, like, if this guy really didn't want to tell us anything, if we like knock him out in a Magic Jar. And it says, so what it says is you can access all of the rudimentary knowledge that they know, meaning all of their basic knowledge.
Yeah.
You just can't speak in their language or cast their spells, which is so cool. I did not think that Magic Jar would let you access their memories.
It is a little rude, however.
Oh yeah.
Go through somebody like
Oh,
that.
and it's ridiculously dangerous.
taking the mind.
Yeah, it's ridiculously dangerous because if they have either if the difference between your intelligence and theirs is less than 5, and especially if they have greater intelligence than you, they can roll like once a round to regain control of their mind, which doesn't expel you; it just traps you.
Yeah, you're
So
stuck
you're
there.
stuck, and then you start like fighting with them back and forth to take it back over to get control, which is terrifying.
Food side. All right, be safe, everybody that's currently working your way out the door. You're welcome to let your car warm up.
And I couldn't get that side garage door to open the big garage door for me.
We're in a power guide somewhere anyway, so.
It only matters.
Sure.
Forces like
I can get it
thousands of years ago.
I open it all the time, but I know the pain. That's for
It
sure.
only matters to the person who writes the next.
Just someone knows.
So, there's like 1,000 years.
I grab this.
Fight that. Like 100 or so. Oh, there you go. Exactly 1,000. And then it skips 933 years to Darth Vader. After Darth Bane, it goes straight to Darth Vader. There's nothing in that. There's nothing in that 900-year gap. No, so like this is the Star time limit.
It is seeing slightly ajar, but it is closed, so we just need to make sure we close it before then.
The acolyte.
Okay,
You must acknowledge it.
you run off after the 2 missing monks. Do-do-do.
This feels familiar. The last time we weren't together, so we have a better shot here.
You're moving through the woods, and you were ambushed last time, and now you're not. You got it. You know what's coming.
Thank you, Dan, for running.
You're welcome.
So I'm pretty sure I
Thank
can
you
keep up
for
with Ren.
contributing to the story.
So I'm pretty sure I can keep up with Ren MX now.
Yeah, well, neither one of you will be able to go maximum speed anyway, so it really shouldn't be a problem. So,
I do need to talk to you at some point, though, about
It's 26 inches according to this.
oh yeah,
I thought she was with us or something.
she volunteered to, or not volunteered, but you guys agreed that she would come along when you went to go after the shard. But then she wasn't home today, so you didn't see her, so you didn't bring her with you today.
Gotcha.
But
she's
sure,
got
this is
her
a day trip. Yeah. So, but she did say when it comes time to go meet the contact, she would go. All right, so you're probably like 2 rounds behind, okay? And then we're just going to do each minute, it's going to start at 3 minutes, we'll do like a 30% chance that you get them in sight, and then it'll go up by about 10% for every minute until we make the roll. So if the 3rd minute's 30%, no. 4th minute's 40%, no. 5th minute is 50, yes. All right, so they're in sight at about 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes, okay? And then when you sight them, they are pretty much staying together, and they're about 120 yards away, okay? So that is less than a minute, but they also move pretty fast, so not as fast as you guys.
Can I tell which one is the stronger monk?
They look so close together, you wouldn't really think either one is much different. So,
I'll go for the one on the left.
All right.
Okay.
They split, and we'll take them out and be back over here somewhere.
Okay.
Over here somewhere.
All right. So, you know what? I have just the thing for this. It'll be fun. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Mini minis?
Back at camp.
No.
But I got a mini. I gotta paint this.
Really wouldn't do us much good in this particular scenario.
I might repaint him. Or print a new one, because his leg's got like a hole in it.
I don't know.
Look like the layer.
Can you gore and make it a wound?
It just look like the layer didn't stick.
Blood and guts showing out of his leg. That'd be awesome.
The primer might fill it though. The primer might fix it. But this thing, it didn't stick right there on that layer. Sometimes that happens. This print didn't look very good.
You can. The side door is now open. It's
kind of
just
a
sitting ajar. It's not all the way shut. You can just leave it. When you go out, just do the same thing. That way people can get out of it.
I'll probably see how it works.
Thank you, sir. See you in the morning.
Thanks, see ya. Bye, I'll probably be shoveling snow.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Sorry to hear that.
Don't kill yourself, Ryan.
Okay, so the two of you run in pretty parallel, 5 to probably like, let's say 8 to 10 feet apart, ducking through the bush, and you're in and out, and it's fast. Let's make chase music.
Just take-
Let's see.
Mom, you're going.
Okay. And all right, you cross through the brush, and then you see, and they're pretty much on the same level as you are, but all of a sudden there's a major drop to like a dry gulch below you, and it's about 10 feet wide. So all you really have time to do is you're either have to drop down into it, which would create a delay to come back up out the other side, or try to jump.
Did they jump or?
You don't know. You didn't actually see it, so probably because they didn't lose any ground.
Okay, we're jumping. I'm jumping.
Okay. There's a dex check at -5.
Made it. 2.
I made it by 6.
Okay. No problem. Made it. Or -5 and
I rolled 11. I made it
I rolled 7. And I
So made it by 5 and 2. All right. Anyway, so you jump the pit or gulch, whatever you want to call it, and then you're cruising through the woods, dodging in and out of trees. Both roll d6.
5. Also 5.
Okay. So you've narrowed the distance. You're probably at like about 80 yards. If somebody wants to try missile fire, you just have to let me know. Otherwise, you are narrowing down on them.
Of course, range.
Missile fire is a handoff. I don't know.
Okay. Both you roll d6 again.
1.
6.
Okay. So you pick through the trees and you come around, and where you're at, the ground is going down. Where you're at, staying pretty level. You go around the tree and then you're going down. As you go down, you come around a large tree, and there's a tree that's basically right about neck height. And so you have to quickly duck under it in order to not get clotheslined. And it's a dex check at -3. Okay. So both roll d6.
6.
Okay. All right. You're probably at about 60 yards back from them now, and they've turned, and the direction that they're going is kind of down slope, and you can smell and hear fresh water somewhere ahead of you. And then as you head down slope, you're crossing over an area that the ground is very hard, could be rock underneath, and it has, like the surface is slippery, like lichens and compacted detritus basically on the surface. And so you make a dex check straight up in order to just kind of clear the area.
3.
No problem. Okay.
We're so dexy.
Okay. You, at about 40, 50 yards, they are now actively, periodically looking over their shoulder to see how far back you are, and they are not turning to fight. They are attempting to run. You're probably right now at about a mile away from where you left the party. Okay. And you see they must have reached like a crevice or something around because you see them both jump. And then about 20 seconds later, you guys are at the same spot and you see there is a crevice in the ground, like there was an earthquake. And there's a sharp edge, and then there's about a 12-foot distance and another sharp edge. They both jumped it. Okay, so first of all, roll a straight up dex check.
Exactly.
Okay, and then roll a d6 versus strength.
4,
So you made it by 7?
5, strength is 16.
Okay, so you clear the crevice completely. You basically are falling at the edge, so you can like grab on and pull yourself up if you're successful. Okay, so just roll a dex check. Okay, so you latch onto the edge and climb up, but assuming you're continuing to run, you lost about 15 feet or so on him. You got about 15 feet ahead of you. Okay. They are at about 40 yards out. Okay. All right. So as you continue, you charging down on them, they're headed toward what sounds like a river or something in the distance, and you come to a place where there must have been some kind of an old structure constructed here, and there's actual the remains of a wooden palisade. And so the area that you're heading through, it's about 5 feet high, it's about 40 feet wide. So you could easily go around it and go through one of the gaps, or you can go over it. Going over it is probably what they did, and it would keep you from losing time. Okay. All right. So you go over it. So you can't. It doesn't look super strong. You could possibly just like bust through it, but going over it seems a lot more safe or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not very sure.
Okay. So it's a dex check at -2.
Fine, really by a lot.
I rolled a 1.
Roll a 2.
Okay. All right. So you're probably 25 yards behind them now. And you see that they're running, and where they're at, like it starts to rise so that your heads are like even with their stomachs. So they're obviously like with an elevation there. And then you see them basically go over that lip and disappear. They're out of sight. So there must be a substantial drop behind that. As you charge up to the edge, which is only like 10, 15 seconds at most, right? You charge up to the edge, and what you see is below there is a river running. The river is about 20 feet wide, and probably, from here it looks to be at least 5 or 6 feet deep. You see that on the other side at the river level, so it's a decrease of about maybe 25 feet. On the other side at the river level is dry ground. There are trees rising up, and so it looks from back there, it looks like the forest continues on because you see the trees out there, right? And you see them, they have just landed on the ground on the other side of the river, and they're both kind of like picking themselves up and looking back in your direction to see whether or not you're going to try to make the jump. So from here, it is about a 30-foot leap to dry ground and about a 25-foot drop. Okay. So as you ran up there, you were probably not running full speed up the hill. So if you wanted to just kind of like go, you could go, or you could go back and take a run up and go. Okay.
I can't jump that far.
Going for it?
Yeah.
All right. So you go back to the, where the wood's a little more dense, and you charge up. Now, during that time, you couldn't see them, right? And as you hit the edge, and are you both leaving basically at the same time? There's plenty of room.
Yeah.
Okay. As you hit the edge and hit the air, you see that they see that you're trying to make the jump, and they both turn and head into the woods. Okay. All right. All right. So you make the jump. Both you roll, just roll a d20 versus dex. Give me the versus number.
17.
You rolled a 3? You rolled a 17? Okay. So you make the jump, but you're going to clear the river with that descent. You don't have any problem, but you're getting into the edge of the woods. So there's small trees sticking up, and there's a rock there, and like that. And so instead of landing on the smooth kind of beach side, you're going to hit the brush. Okay. So saving throw versus petrification. 3 times. Each one is 2 lower, just like normal. Basically, you're avoiding this stick and that stick and bumping your head, that kind of thing.
So I missed the first one by 5.
Okay.
The second one over 20. And the last one I made by, you said it's plus 3 each time?
So it'd be 6, minus 6 now on the dice.
Make it by 1. Roll a 13.
Say again?
I roll a 13, minus 6 is
19, so you probably missed.
no,
Or no, other way, 7. So yeah, you probably missed it.
and then my save is 8, and I have a quick destruction plus 2.
So you made it. Okay, so you missed the first one. Okay, so there is about I'm going to give it a 2% chance that it's like impaled or hit your head or something disabling. No. Okay. So you take 3 points of damage on the fall, plus you take normal falling damage if you're not near a wall, which is 10 points. So you take 13 total. So basically, he lands. He goes too far, and he lands in an area where there's some trees rising, smaller trees, and a boulder like that. And you see he twists and dives and lands on the ground on the other side. But as he goes, he takes a nasty scratch on the side, and maybe some smaller scratch on his face.
My grips have not helped with that at all.
Because it's free falling, basically.
I'm still gonna keep.
Yep. And so you landed neatly on the beach. In fact, if you can make a dex check at half, you landed basically full run. Okay, so you jumped the water, landed on the beach, and were able to start running almost immediately. So at that point, you see them. The closer of the two is about 10 yards away, and so not far at all. Okay. Let's see. I think they're probably going to turn and fight at that point. So yes, so they will turn and fight. Sure. So as you rush into the woods, you're drawing your sword. So assuming your first attack is with the sword, you'll be at -2 on initiative. Otherwise, you have it out. And they're going to engage you. You'll be 1 round behind. So he's going to have to fight them for 1 round before you can help him. Okay. So roll initiative.
Very good. -2, so that's a 7.
Okay, so I have a 7 and a 6.
I got a sword in unarmed combat.
Okay, so if you take the unarmed combat attack first, then you don't have to take the -2 on initiative.
Okay, I'll just do that.
Does that put you at 9 or 7?
It'll put me at 9.
Okay, so you'll go first then with your unarmed combat attack. And they're basically attacking you both at the same time. So go ahead and take your attack.
AC 4.
AC 4 is that? They are AC 4, both of them.
2 plus 3 plus 1 is 6.
Okay.
Huh? I only made it 7.
What do you think they're running? Okay.
We're chasing monks.
Okay. They will return fire on you.
AC 1. Or, because I just. Yeah, 1
I'm gonna put this stuff down in my office.
Check out The Moment Blood Bowl wherever you buy books. This is written by Pastor Daniel Stevenson, the longtime author and game master of Low Moon Adventures. Opposite. Okay, first one missed.
Now let's go back inside.
Second one hit.
19 on the die.
That's a miss.
Demonstrating for you.
All right. And then we go to your sword attack.
Negative a lot. Negative 10.
Y'all got the rest of your room now.
Monk's plus. Hopefully. Hopefully not a repeat of history.
That's not looking promising. Plus, that was 2 dragon monks. This is 2 healing monks. There's a big difference.
Oh, so they're injured. I ain't about to take it though. Please warn me. There's a decent chance I get out.
I should be able to get
I'd
out.
rather not.
Alright,
So I hit.
they both only get 1 attack, so.
So at least another 10 on the sword.
Okay.
It's the odd levels that you get better.
And 11 damage.
Okay.
8 plus 2.
They're both still there. Then we go to the new round, so this round you'll be joining.
Okay. I take the one on the left.
Okay. Still the one on the left.
Yeah, I'll
Stick
take
with-
one on the
Stick with the original attack.
Laser focus on.
And I'm out for 2.
I'm thinking for a second. I mean, they're monks, so once you engage, it's going to be every segment.
Am I every 7 2 by your round?
You use like judo or whatever, it's not the same thing.
Judo. I don't think you're lucky that they're not hitting you every round. Or every,
It's true. So if you go to full open unarmed combat, you get 2 attacks and they get 10, or whatever their dex bonus is, 7.
you go do a judo test and they hit you like 5 times in the face.
Lovely.
Okay, I got it. All right, initiatives. You didn't already. Ooh, they're flying.
I rolled 4.
5 total.
I rolled minimum.
Okay, so they both have 9. I rolled 9 for both of them. The one on Ren will attack at 9. What's AC again? Negative 4?
Negative 4.
That's exactly right. Nope, that's a miss. Okay. That's gonna be a problem. Okay, anyway, initiative 8. The other one, the 9 that's facing you, did not attack. Okay. So initiative 8, the one on you will attack again. Missed again. By 1 both times. There we go.
Don't get hit club.
Initiative 7.
He's 5 on 4.
Missed by a mile that time. Initiative 6. Missed by a bigger mile. Just going down, down, down. He's definitely losing confidence here. Initiative 5. Missed. Go ahead.
Get him.
I rolled 16, which hits AC -2.
AC -2 is their AC 2, so that misses stunning by 1. So somehow.
I like
I
just
said they
roll.
were AC 4.
Oh, did I?
So I hit 1 attack for this roll.
Unless it's not their best bonus. That's like they're getting way too bonus.
18x is a 4 bonus for AC. I like this like a military question for AC.
I don't know if that's weird, but like
16 dex is negative 2.
strength is weird.
Dex is plus 1 to 16 and minus 2 to AC. And then roll on 1. Each of us got 1.
It's AC 2. No, AC 3. It's AC 3.
My 1 attack was
3
3.
and I hit -2.
So you hit it by 5 exactly.
I don't know where attack was.
47.
Did not kill her. She was. Oh. Yeah, this is that's right. Okay, so she is stunned. They're both cheese.
Oh, they're both cheese.
My arm attack would have missed me.
You made this equal exactly?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You're still gonna count it as that. Okay. So right now they're both wounded, and now the one that Ren was fighting is stunned. So she does not attack you in the next segment. Also, you drop out of segments, so you have one more attack this round. You can take on her if you want.
11 points of damage to her.
That's the one I just did.
Yeah.
Okay. How much is damage? 11? Okay, actually she's unconscious. Okay.
And then if I get the other attack, I'm 5 for 2.
So you can take out your other attack on her, on the other one, but it won't be until later in the round because you have to move over there. They weren't side by side when they were fighting, obviously. Okay. So then you're up.
Negative.
It would hit. She dodges.
She's pulling me.
She's going to pull out 50 bucks.
And then I have another attack.
The other lady went with offense because she thought if she hit you to the eye, it'd be one thing, but this lady's like, she already knew she was outclassed, and so she was going to just try to dodge. And if the other lady get lucky, maybe then they could do something, and otherwise now she's in the exact same screwed spot she was going to be in if she had attacked, so. Anyway.
I have a
second attack.
-2.
And she failed to dodge.
7.
She was not. So they're both lying on the ground at your feet, bleeding to death.
I will
As you hear the sounds of the forest creep back in.
I'll stabilize one with anatomy.
stabilize them.
I failed.
Now they're not bleeding to death.
I failed anatomy roll.
You can't, yeah, but you don't do 1 point of healing, but you can't fail without bleeding.
Oh.
I rolled a 17 for I was just stabilizing her, so.
Yeah, so you can't fail, yeah.
So I will, also 17 my wisdom.
Don't want to let it change
So you actually made it anyway.
I will
Plus 2, or plus 5.
pull out that cord that I have.
Okay.
I use my belt to tie one of the hands tightly.
Okay.
And do it in such a way that makes it really hard to escape.
Okay.
I'm very good at escaping, so I know exactly how to kill it.
Okay, well you have 2 captive female healing monks,
Problem is,
apparently of the competitive variety.
we have to bring them back.
And you're about 2 miles away from the party. I mean, you don't take anything after, you can just leave them here tied up. They'll get out eventually.
I have another option. We could teleport.
Oh, yeah.
Can you do that?
Yes. Not the best chance since I'm not familiar with that ground that they're on.
How far is the keep from here?
The keep?
Mm-hmm.
Unless I took a
from
little
here, I mean, you'd have to kind of figure it out, but somewhere around maybe 5 miles.
I have directions from wilderness behind me, so probably pin it down a little bit better. Like we're not.
Yeah.
That's not terribly far from you, then. I might just use my flippers to go back to the keep and catch up with the party. So whatever, teleport.
I mean, so
I don't know, that's better.
you're going to move a lot slower carrying a healing monk, obviously.
No, I mean, he was gonna if he teleported them back.
Oh, if he teleports those 2 back.
And then if
I could teleport all 4 of us.
I know, but if it goes bad, then they don't know what happened. That's the other thing. So if I use the flippers to teleport myself back to bed, and I get up and ready to catch up to the party,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
then
Get
I'll either...
slippers that return them to.
Mhm. I can also track you guys, so if you guys get really far ahead, I can track this track. You guys range forward without me.
There's also always the chance that you'll run into an actual patrol as well.
Oh yeah, I can outrun them for the most part. Unless there's a particularly skilled monk.
I mean, monks are pretty fast. Depends.
And if it happens, I can keep the slippers on maybe and teleport away or something, or just use my weird ring and hide. I'm kind of slippery now.
Yeah. Well, the slippers probably have limited uses, either ever or in a day.
Yeah. But I also have the ring that teleports me in a random direction. So
Didn't want to come out, and then it came out and bent my nail back.
I do have a dimension. I do have some dimension doors.
how far does this go?
Not that far.
Like 30 feet.
That was further than that, but it's not that far. Not miles.
They've done last
I mean, how fast could we get back with them on our shoulders? I'm sure I'm strong enough to carry a person.
Easily an hour, easily. The issue is not so much the
we did make
time.
some pretty
it's
tough
the,
jumps on the way over.
Yeah, plus you have to navigate. You have to figure out your way back, which you can do, I'm sure, but it's not going to be like, oh, the keep is there. We're just going to run straight there. So it's probably going to be, with navigating, it'd probably take you an hour or two.
If I meditated and went over the memory of us fighting, and then I went over like the ground there, could I get it to be a higher score for teleportation?
Probably, yeah. It wouldn't be, it's still not going to be perfect, but it's already not too bad because, like, even just having seen the place once is, the chance of having an error is pretty slim. So, seen casually, you go high on 8% and low on 4%. So that's already pretty good. And then with your meditation, you would probably be able to, you'd probably be able to get somewhere between halfway between there and studied carefully, which is 4% high and 2% low.
Okay.
Considering the number of incidents that have happened with that spell over the years, the chances are really slim. Like, if you've never seen the place, then it's 32% high and 16% low. That's pretty sucky, but that's because you've never seen the place. I mean, it could be somewhere else that looks just the same. But if you've even viewed the place once, you only have, combining them together, if you've only viewed the place once, then you only have a 23% chance of failure.
How long would it take you to meditate and get a decent enough area?
5 or 10 minutes.
That's pretty good then.
Okay.
And that would put you between the two. So you'd be looking at about probably 5% chance to go high and a 3% chance to go low. Low is the only one that's really dangerous.
If you're going to botch it, go high.
Okay.
Oh, you don't control it.
I know, Ryan knows all that.
Okay, I'll do that, and then I will...
So the gist of it is you're going to teleport the 4 of you back to the keep, or back to the party, you said.
Are you coming with us?
It's us rolling. And Brandon likes to take these kind of risks.
Well, you don't have to roll.
You just have to suffer with the consequences.
I mean, how long would it take to get back up to what we got? What is this, like?
Back to the party?
Yeah.
Not carrying, I'd say half hour, 45 minutes.
How long have we been gone for, roughly?
15 minutes.
Just hopefully this isn't bad.
Okay. May as well. Okay, so first roll, reach meditation.
Yep. 9.
Wisdom for observation.
20.
Nice. Yeah, you're very confident that you got a good look at it. It's going great. You roll a percentile dice to see if you're high or low or right on target.
38.
So now I'm actually casting the spell.
Yes, sir.
38.
64.
No problem.
That's fine too.
Perfectly arrived, standing in the middle of the trail right by the party. At about 20 minutes after you left. 20 to 25 minutes after you left.
We've captured 2 healing monks.
And actually, by that time, they're still probably interrogating what's-his-face, because they did that for a while, so...
They talked for like half an hour.
Yeah, they delayed it.
Actually, they're probably still talking about the other guy's abilities.
Probably doing this third step thing.
We're going to assume you arrive back during the interrogation. That'll make it nice and smooth for next session.
Alright. We have 2 more to interrogate.
Yes. Or something.
You know, we could interrogate them against each other. No, I've always wanted to do this.
They don't really seem to be very much like...
Oh no, you go...
difficult to interrogate, because once you've defeated them, you basically kind of like, according to the flame, you're pretty much like...
Okay, I'll save this for another time. Interrogate 2 people and be like, listen, I only need one of you alive. So one of you's going to tell the truth and one of you will be dead. The decision is yours. That's exactly what I wanted to know.
That really wouldn't work because they would both just tell the truth. But then again, you'd have to choose to kill someone who told the truth,
Or
someone who was willing to tell the truth.
Well, I mean, if first one tells the truth and stuff, I can keep playing him off information, begging more and more, and be like, "Oh, he told me all this."
Did you do your Duolingo today, Josh?
Yes, I think I did it before you got here.
I think I did not. I have 29 minutes. I'm gonna put the tables back.
Well, the good news is if you do letters, it usually only takes like a minute, or at least it does for me.
Letters?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's.
Oh, it could be like spelling practice or something.
He's doing Spanish, so it's probably not.
Can I see? Well, I have Spanish on here too. I can.
They probably don't have the writing exercises.
Well, there are the side where you guess, but I don't think that counts for days.
No, like the Japanese and the
See, I'll
Chinese,
try
you
to
actually
see.
write the characters and stuff in it.
Yeah.
No, I'll blame it on you.
There's like a character writing tutorial of that.
2 minutes. Ready, set, go. Courses, curses.
Spanish.
The waiter.
That was really fast.
Oh, yep. They don't seem to have a letters section like they do.
No, it wouldn't surprise me because like it's in English, so it's like English writing. They might have like the accents and stuff. But they probably just explain it. It also is part of the pronunciation word and all that.
Don't you teach
Because that's
German?
all I'm
Everybody
is
did
just
that.
practicing writing the characters.
We caught monks, Josh. We caught monks.
Yeah.
We did the thing where we caught monkeys.
Now we need we need like an item that we can put them in, like a Pokeball. There's like, I choose you, healing monk.
Oh, the healing monks are lame for combat.
Breakfast.
They heal you.
I mean, yeah,
They're
but
great for cleanup.
Every morning.
Also, they're still monks. They still they just don't do the soul wound thing, and then they don't break.
this is a cool stun thing. But it's hard for them to stun. What do they use? They use
No,
sneak tackle, don't they?
they have the same. They still have the same stun as a normal monk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They still have like the same tackle as the warriors and healers have the same tackle?
I don't know if the warrior monks still have the same taco, but
Or the warriors might get like a weapon and choice bonus or something kind of like that, maybe.
maybe.
I don't know. It'd be kind of weird if like,
I don't know.
a healer monk is as good at punching as a
I don't
warrior
think
monk,
there's
you
been
know?
a PC warrior monk.
I don't know. Not that I'm aware. Has there been a PC warrior monk? Rhiannon, what was Rhiannon? Or not Rhiannon, Renesmee.
No PC.
She was a normal monk. Well, actually, yeah, she was a normal monk, and then she got turned into a dwarven monk. Well, it was a thief, but thief adjacent. A thief with extra steps.
Thief that takes extra steps. Because they run.
Okay, let's see what it does now. Earn 7 experience.
We are terrifying.
Yeah, you should be. You only have to do one
Yep.
lesson to get your.
Yep, it did count. So that's an easy way if you're running out of time.
Is to do what?
One of the side things.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like side things are timed, so like you have to do the whole lesson in like 1 minute. And then you do the whole next lesson in 1 minute, like that. If you can get through the end, you get like a bunch of experience, like 100 experience or something. And I don't usually even do them because it's really hard to do. Like, so there'll be like 7 or 8 questions, and some of them are like you have to pick all the words for the whole sentence, and some of them are just like you repeat the sentence. Those are easy ones, but some of them are like you pick all the right words. Some of them are you translate them from English to Spanish, or Spanish to English, like that, and do like 8 questions like that in 1 minute. That's hard. Like it's average of 7 seconds per piece, and some of them are easy because you're just saying what they said. But then that still is you like 5 of them that you have to translate from English to Spanish, and you have to average like less than 8 or 10 seconds a piece. It's not. I can't ever do it. So I really hardly ever have done them.
You gotta know your stuff.
In fact, I just decided like yesterday or the day before, or whatever, that I was going to start doing them a little bit because even though I fail at them, I'm still learning. You know.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided I was going to start doing it. But anyway, so I did it. My 301st session.
Nice.
I've done 301 sessions, and total historically since the beginning, I've used 2 or 3 streak freezes is all, and that includes like going to camp 2 years in a row, like not having very good access to my phone and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've definitely used more than that. So,
Right now I've got 2,999 gems. I've done 301 days in a row, and I'm level 19 in Spanish, and this is comical, but I am level, what am I? What level is? I can't tell what level I am in math. I can be such high level in math, I just haven't done it.
Also, you don't have to do Spanish. You could just do the math instead for your stream.
Oh, really? I didn't even realize that either.
You just have to do
2 to the first power plus 2 to the first power equals.
So the fastest mile in the world ever run was 3 minutes and 43 seconds. And we did 2, a very heavy brush, in 15 minutes. That's not bad.
Oh,
and leapt across a river and over a pit and dodged it. Yeah, I like that deck, and I don't get to use it very much. They're not really chasing.
that river did more or that jump did more damage to me than anything. Than the mox.
All right, how many put these tables back before they all disappear?
The jump hurt you?
So,
Or slow you down, or the jump hurt you, or slow you down?
No,
You can hit the trees and stuff on the other side.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I thought for sure they might have split. They try and like.
if they had just not waited to see, like basically they were like looking back and going, I don't think they're gonna make the jump, and then you made the jump, like, oh crud. if they had just kept running, they'd have probably been better off if they could have got some lead.
Basically, they had to force us to make a mistake without making one of their own.
Yeah,
That's the only way they could really outpace us.
Yep.
Because we were faster.
Yep. That's fun.
Even then, they probably.
Stay tuned for more Lomunian adventures.